what does winning look like for you when it comes to Xbox within, give or take, the next 5 years?
When I look at the next 5 years, winning looks like, or succeeding looks like, that Xbox is a platform that is truly seamless across devices, that it has a seminal, high-powered console experience that people love, but that those people can also take their games with them on PC, on cloud, anywhere they want in the world, and that we've opened up that access to the full breadth of the connected planet, that it's something that anyone who wants to experience games can actually get their hands on and enjoy.
What's a man or a king? What's it saying? Advancing the line, advancing the payment. You front the game and shoot what said as you claim it. It's that Xbox, spin the block, his legs slide. Fast talking, no wriggling, moonwalking, selling moon rock just to make dividends. You in traffic with family? That much make it a portrait. Gun kick back, knock grannies from porches. David on the scene, you know that it's scorching. What's a man or a king? What's it saying? Advancing the line, advancing the payment. You front the game and shoot what said as you claim it.
You already know the time, told my boys to hold the line. We gon' shoot it out in seconds, leave you posted like a vine. Bow your head down to the king, leave your roses at the shrine. We stay ready for the war, just need the king to drop the sign. Say what you running from, what you running from. I'm with my team, we bleed green, that's what you wanted, huh? Say what you running from, what you running from. I'm with my team, we bleed green, that's what you wanted, huh? This what you wanted. This what you wanted, huh?
Peace and blessings, and welcome back to Xbox Frontline News with your boy, the King. And on this wonderful Tuesday, I got a great interview that was brought to us by Fortune magazine. And Sarah Bond is in this interview, and she gives a great account of her history in gaming from the early years all the way up into her transitioning from a consultant all the way to where she is right now as far as CEO over at Xbox. And what I would like to do, president over Xbox, what I would like to do is actually delve deeper into that conversation. A lot of the questions are being asked, and I would like to expound on that to bring that to you guys, because a lot of you guys don't think hardware is in the plans for Xbox, but a lot of you don't understand exactly where she's coming from as far as the president of Xbox goes, what she has to learn on the job, and the things that she had to do to push forward. So if this is your first time finding this channel, and you love Xbox, you found your new best friend, me, the King. If you're looking for a channel that has positive Xbox news, look no further than here. 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every day. I drop the news, no fluff, just giving you the straight facts. But also, I give news about the whole industry as a whole. But today, I would like to delve deeper into what Xbox is and what we can expect from them going forward with this incredible interview that Sarah Bond did with Fortune magazine. Now, the basic question is fundamentally asked, when did she start playing video games and what drew her into the ecosystem of what video games is? Like, what was your first consoles and stuff like that? Who helped you get into gaming, and what was that experience like?
Actually, my whole time growing up, I played games. I first started playing games when I was like 6 or 7 years old with my dad. He was a big gamer, and he loved to use it as a way to just bond and spend time with me. So the first game I ever played with him was King's Quest II. We played it on a very simple PC. You had to read the text to figure out what was going on. And then we just went from there. We tried all sorts of things. He brought me pretty much every console that existed. I had a PlayStation, I had an Xbox, I had Game Boys. And it was a big part of how he and I would bond and spend time together. We'd either both play the same game and we would talk on the phone. I went to boarding school for a bit, so we would talk on the phone, where are you at this game? And how do you figure this out? Or when I would go home on weekends, I would sit down with him and he would watch me play and we would talk about it and have a really fun time. So I always had this deep love of gaming as a consumer and as a player. And then when I came to Microsoft, the opportunity was there to join the gaming team. And I did all of these other things in consumer and technology, but I'd never actually had the opportunity to work in gaming itself. So I jumped at the opportunity to join the team and actually be part of shaping an industry that I had always loved as a player.
And you could see from that very basic question how her gaming sensibilities is formatted. You look at it that she had everything. She played across various different devices, but she also went away to boarding school where probably she couldn't take a library with her, and she had to wait till she get to a stationary situation in order to sit down and play these games. But then she would have to talk over the phone to figure out where she was in a certain space, talk to her father or where he's at, and how could they get past a certain zone or whatever the case may be. And you can tell that those levels of frustration when it came to those things kind of seeped into how she will go on as president of Xbox. And when she got there, she took that stuff with her, her experiences, to change these things to fundamentally make it that future Sarah Barnes don't have the same obstacles that she had growing up. Could you explain a couple of the differences that you see coming from T-Mobile to getting into the infrastructure of what goes on with Xbox that some of us as consumers may not get a chance to see or understand? Is there any insight that you can give us on that?
Well, look, you have to learn all of the economics of gaming, for example. Like there's subscription business model, there's a free-to-play business model, there's a pay-to-play business model, there's advertising models. There's the business of making hardware, actually picking silicon, investing in a profile, bringing it to market. There's all of the publisher relationships that exist. You know, before I worked at T-Mobile, and you know, wireless it's first an all US business, and there's just a few players that you need to think about. In gaming, there's thousands of game developers to work with, and those game developers are all around the world. So almost every part of the business system, I had experienced it as someone who loves gaming and enjoyed it, but I had to learn it from the other side of the mechanics of how it actually worked.
So a steep learning curve of that nature could be kind of rough. Was there any things that you used to do that can actually help people learn? Like, coming from a basis of ground zero, trying to figure out what's happening ahead of you with the job that you do have, what was some of the things that you did to help prepare yourself going forward? Maybe you didn't know all the language about certain aspects of how the job is. Is there any insight that you can give us on that?
I used to wake up at like 3 or 4 in the morning before the day started and go through my email super carefully, read each and every message, figure out what I understood in that, what I didn't understand in that, sort of circle or highlight the things I didn't understand, and make sure by the end of the day that I had learned those things, or that I understood what those definitions and what those terms were. So I could build a rubric in my head of how the whole system actually interlocked together. In some ways, I'm grateful for that, like, because I look back on it now, and the fact that it wasn't assumed that I would know things. And so I felt super free to ask questions and verify things and check with the team, built this really strong foundation where it's like, okay, now I actually understand how all of the things click together and how everything works.
So getting over to Xbox and now seeing exactly what Xbox is and what it means to many, what does Xbox, the brand, mean to you? What does Xbox mean to Sarah Bond?
Is really all about making it easy for people to access and play their games. Like, we know that's what players care about. And so all of this innovation, all of the things that are happening in the industry, they are being harnessed to enable that more easily and more accessibly for customers than ever before. And so a good example actually is if you look back at the history of the industry, it used to be that if you bought a game on the console, you could only play that game on the console. And if you wanted to play it on a PC, you had to buy it again on a PC, and you couldn't even access it on a mobile device. And that's actually how the industry grew up. And what we've seen is a good example of the change that you're talking about is more and more people are playing their games across multiple devices. That people want gaming to act like all forms of entertainment act, where you could actually pick up, you can instantly go, and you can move across. Another example is that people, if you've got a friend who's playing on PC and you're playing on an Xbox, you want to be able to play with that person. You want to be able to seamlessly jump in and experience the same experience with them at the exact same time. All of these things are potential disruptions if you look at it another way and you say, hey, I want to actually keep with the status quo, but they're actually things that the player really wants. They're true unlocks. And so for us, it's about looking at actually how players behave and leveraging the technology that's out there to give them that experience. So that's one of the reasons why we launched Xbox Play Anywhere, which makes it possible. You buy the game once, you can play it across all the devices that you want to play. It's another reason why when we launched the Xbox Ally, we put in a gaming co-pilot button actually on the Xbox Ally. And that's because we saw this opportunity to make it easier for people once they get into games to navigate them, to figure out what to do and easily discover that.
So your time at Microsoft and Xbox, what have you learned when it came to video games itself, like from the beginnings to all the data and the fact that you guys get a ton of engagement? What does the data tell you? Where the industry is going, how things have changed? Is it like subscription based, or basically you're on the inside? Please let me know exactly the idea of what's transpiring that we don't get a chance to really see, or we may not understand as a consumer.
The way gaming was originally constructed, it was very locked that the games and the hardware and the experience could only be experienced in one place. And so that's how a lot of people were introduced to gaming. You know, I get my console, I play on my console, this is the only place that I could do this. And then the technology evolved. It became possible to actually experience those types of things on a PC. It's also possible now to actually stream those games from the cloud and have them playable on any device, regardless of the local capabilities of that device. All of those things changed. We then also saw the rise of mobile gaming, where there were game experiences, different types of games on mobile, and also games that actually brought their experience to mobile. All of these things changed. So younger people are coming into gaming and they have a whole set of options that are very different from the options that my dad had when he was growing up. And so they take advantage of all of those things. And they also grow up in a world where all of our entertainment is actually very normatively across devices. So we see that younger people play more across devices and are less likely to associate themselves with a single device experience and say, I'm a console gamer or I'm a PC gamer. People just say, I like to play games. And so that's a lot of the trends that we see. We said, okay, we want to make sure that Xbox is a place where you can play games across any device you want. You can play on the Xbox console, you can play through the Xbox PC experience, you can stream it over Xbox Cloud, but that your entertainment truly moves with you.
Now let's dig deeper into the passionate gamers, and it could be a rowdy bunch over at Xbox. They have a fan base that is vastly passionate when it comes to what the brand means, what goes on with the brand, what is fundamentally what Xbox is. It's been a long time that Xbox has been out here, and you come in. What did you get a sense of when it comes to Xbox and the brand itself?
It's a brand that people have counted on now for almost 25 years. We're coming up to the 25-year anniversary. And people who play Xbox love Xbox. Like, our players deeply care about what Xbox is. It has a ton of meaning for them. And so changing it is hard, right? Where you know that there are things that are coming in the future that you need to invest in that help ensure the long-term health and growth of the brand. But you also know that there are players who really love what is right now. And the number one way that we talk about this as a team, you say, recognize that people love what we do, and that's why you get so much passion. That's why we get so much feedback. And then listen to that feedback and continually incorporate it into what we're doing, so that we're sure that we're investing in the things that people love now, but also that we know that people are going to love in the future. and then relentlessly look at the core metrics of the health of the business. How many people are playing? What are our hours of play? What are people buying? What are people subscribing to? And so listening to both what people say, but also what they do and how they behave, as we're continuously making the change, and then adjust and learn along the way.
And now we do come from a day and age now where people talk vocally on social media about the stuff that they will do and stuff like that. And now we don't know, and we take a lot of that stuff for face value, but you guys actually get the metrics of the engagement. You guys get a chance to see if Xbox really cares about physical, or if they really care about this and they really care about that. How do you balance the noise of social media versus the reality of the metrics that you have in front of you, dictating exactly what is said and what is actually done? Because one person can say one thing, but then they can actually do something else.
And that really helps us sort it out, right? Hey, you're telling me you care about this thing. You're telling me this matters. And then let me see actually, what choices are you making? What games are you playing? How are you investing? What are your hours of play? And that really helps direct what we're doing, is looking at the combination and then continuously building features and capabilities that deliver against that. So XPA, actually, very good example of when we actually looked at the player behavior of people who were playing XPA games. We saw they were playing 20% more time, right? And so we said, okay, people actually really love this feature, and that they actually spend more money in games, or they're more likely to play games that have this feature because they know they can take it with them across devices. So based off of that, we started to invest more in XPA, amplifying the catalog, bringing them more things. Similarly with the handheld, Windows handhelds actually have been around for some time, but we were looking at player feedback and they said, gosh, we really wish there was an improvement on the experience of Windows on these handhelds. What can we do to actually bring more value to them? And that's what led to that investment, where we realized, partnering with Windows, we could actually make this a lot better. And so it's looking at the combination of signals to prioritize what matters most and ensure we're executing on them over time.
Seeing how the world has gone into the way of kind of like a Netflix thing, is everything is a la carte nowadays, really to curate an experience based upon the player, it needs to have functionality that is flexible and versatile, but also variety across many tiers of gaming genres. And I wanted to know, how did you get to that part? Was the metrics leading you guys to that part? Was the engagement numbers featuring that kind of aspect? How did Game Pass come about? What fundamentally made that happen?
It all goes back to what I said, which is, look, what do we see players gravitating towards? What do we see them playing the most? What are the features that they most deeply value? And making sure that we're balancing delivering what's now, and also leaning into those new features and capabilities. I mean, that's a big part of how Game Pass actually came about, as an example. It used to be that all games were basically pay to play and free to play on our platform. And then we saw people really asking to have an evergreen library that they could jump into, to have the certainty that someone else could actually have the same library as them and choose. And so that's why we built Game Pass, was to create an integrated portfolio, a curated portfolio of games that people could actually jump in into play. And so it's all about the balance of, hey, you try something, you see user signal, you invest in it, and then once you start to see people really grab onto it, readjusting again to continue to drive growth.
Now that the ABK acquisition is over, what is the biggest things that you saw in ABK that made you guys say they were perfect to integrate into the Xbox Microsoft ecosystem? What did they have fundamentally that you felt that could be an asset to the organization going forward?
You know, the big reason why we did those acquisitions was a lot about their creative culture and their creative identity. That was extremely important to us. You know, when we stepped back, we were like, we know a lot about console and console games, but we were seeing the growth that was happening on PC and mobile. And the beautiful marriage with Activision is they had really great capabilities in console, but also in PC and mobile. And so one of the reasons why, really the primary reason why we wanted to join our team was like, actually, how do we bring that creative capability and knowledge into the system and create a space where it's really safe and free for the diversity of voices to contribute to solutions that we're driving, to innovations that we're building, and things that we're able to bring to market.
So as president of Xbox, what is your main focus when it comes to the Xbox brand itself? Like, what do you see them as? What's the identity that you want to cultivate as the president of Xbox when it comes to Xbox?
One of the things about gaming that I often think isn't talked about that much is that it is really about community. That it's about bringing people together to play and have a shared experience. And all of the biggest games in the world are the ones that are available across the broadest set of devices, where the largest number of people can come in and experience play. And so we're really focused on Xbox being able to bring unique experiences to you, unique capabilities to you, but also on doing the things that enable the greatest number of people to actually experience the games that we're building and experience the platform and Xbox itself across all screens.
Now, the topic of hardware it's a real one. And the focus of Microsoft and Xbox, and are they focused on the hardware? We know that the hardcore individual, the Xbox day ones, those individuals love them some Xbox hardware. What is your response to that question when it comes to Xbox hardware? Is it a focal point? Is it something that you guys are truly committed to?
Hardware is absolutely core to everything that we do at Xbox, because we know that our most valuable players, the people who love Xbox, love the hardware experience. And so that is why we are working on our next generation hardware. It's going to be a powerful experience, and one that also enables people to take their library with them. And that's what's really important here as well, is that we know that while people want to play their library absolutely on the console, they also want to be able to play it on PC or stream it around the cloud. And so the Xbox experience starts with the console, but then gives something to people that they can experience across all screens if they choose to, bringing their library, their community, their identity, and the store with them everywhere they go.
Well, some of the detractors have said that Xbox has turned into the Netflix of gaming. How do you respond to the whole moniker of Xbox is just the new Netflix of gaming? How do you respond to that?
People have said that. And I think it's that, but I also think it's more than that. We support every business model. So if you want to subscribe and get access to your library games, you can absolutely do that. If you want to buy your games and build up your own library, you can also do that. And so it's really about actually giving as much access and choice to people, to not locking into any one model, but letting people actually pick the way they want to consume their games, and also letting developers pick the way that they want to monetize their games and reach the most users.
Okay, so as the interview is winding down, what is some of your core philosophies when it comes to dealing with this industry and this environment that you could just, give some words of wisdom to anyone that's watching or listening to this?
I just keep in mind that in the end, it's about the players who we serve, the developers we serve, and the community who loves what we do. And that there's tremendous value in showing up for those constituencies day in and day out, and continually investing in bringing them more of the things that they love about Xbox, and just keeping that as a North Star. And then the second thing is I just say, look, control what you can control, focus on what you can control. There's a million things that are happening in the macroeconomic environment, in the industry, around the world that we can't control. But then there's a tremendous amount of things that you can. And I just keep myself focused on that and the team focused on that. There's this thing I do every day. I ask myself 3 things. Did I bring my A game? Did I give the very best that I had inside of my body that day? Did I create room for other people to do the same thing, right? And did I show up and did I treat people with dignity and respect in a way that would make my mother proud? And in the end, if you do that day in and day out, things will happen, reactions will come, mistakes will be made and lessons will be learned. But if you get up and you rise to the occasion with that attitude every day, in the end, you get to deliver unique value, you get to put things out in the world, and you get to really benefit others.
Well, there you have it. From the Queen Sarah Bond herself, talking about how she feels that Xbox is as a brand, the commitment to hardware, the commitment to community, the commitment to making sure that Xbox, the brand, is viable now, presently, past with evergreen content, and in the future. With this glowing endorsement from the president and also the Queen, Xbox fundamentalists can be very pleased with what's going on. I myself am wholeheartedly engaged in the Xbox community, and I want to make sure that you guys understand that Xbox is here for the long haul. It will change, it will grow, it will expand, but you as an Xbox consumer can rest assured that Xbox is putting their best foot forward, going forward into the future, past, present, and future, with community, hardware, and focused on expanding well within their sights. Now, this is Xbox Frontline News with your boy, The King. I hope this interview is something that you guys liked, something that I put together. Now, the full interview is in the description. You can go check that out. You can see everything there without any cuts and without any edits. This is just brought to you guys based upon what I feel that is the most important to the Xbox Frontline team. We bleed green over here, and we feel that Xbox is our future, is the future. It has always pushed the industry forward. So again, I want y'all to do like I always do, like I tell you to do. I want you to go where winners win and gamers game, and try to play the Game Pass.
Play it day one with Game Pass.